Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to GameStar TV. So we've got most of the players in the lobby. In fact, we've got all of the players in the lobby. And the gorgeous man you see on the screen in the middle there, Skimmy, he's going to be casting. So that's going to be good fun. And Vandy, I think you're taking a break now, aren't you? Because GL Phoenix is going to be doing the analysis. Yes?
No, it's me.
Oh, it's you. All right. Well, my mistake.
I'm like, what?
All right, so there you
He's
go.
gone to make coffee. He's gone.
Oh, he's gone. All right. Well, it's going to be NMD versus Crimson Esports. This is the winners bracket semi-final. So it's all on the line right now with Darksided pushed down into the losers bracket. Quite a couple of unexpected results so far today. Well, let's see what happens in this final match as Skimmy takes you through the draft.
Absolutely, boys and girls. Let's jump into it. Both teams are ready to rock and roll. And with what you'd say is a surprise of the day, who would have known such a roster swap in the eyes of NMD would cause such a ruckus when it came to versing Darksided? They sub out MIA. They bring in the likes of Lahal and Penta, especially Lahal, given that Trump Sports have disbanded since Season 3. And suddenly, the Dark Horse, the team that came forth, snagged that final spot, are the team that actually live by their name, and they caused the upset.
They really did, and I don't think anyone saw it coming, myself included. It was wonderful to see, and you could see towards the end of that last fight, as I said, both teams, they just wanted it so bad. Darksided, they knew it was going to be an easy game for them. If they could just win that last team fight, both teams wanted it so bad. So congratulations to NMD for pushing through. They have improved leaps and bounds since we saw them at finals, Skimmy.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it any better myself there, Vandy. We're going to jump on to Battlefield of Eternity. Now let's run through what the banning priority was. We did have NMD with that first pick. As a result, they banned away Brax's holdout. So both teams kind of feeling as if they don't want to take that one to the forefront. And there was no Warhead Junction ban, with Tomb of the Spider Queen being the second one, which has now resulted in Crimson picking Battlefield of Eternity. 2 bans already. In terms of the draft itself, both Valor and Malthael taken away, and that's a direct response to the objective itself.
Yep, Valor and Malthael so good at racing down this Immortal. And I mean, Battlefield of Eternity, we haven't seen it in an age, a day and age it feels like, Skimmy, but that leaves Genji open. We do also have the others that you can use. And when I say the others, I mean, they're not really, I guess, prioritized a lot just because of their inherent weaknesses in one way or another, but Artanis, Lunara, Nazeebo, things like that, still very, very good at racing down that Immortal. And Greymane, who is tier S. Greymane's on the board.
You missed off the ball.
Sorry.
Greymane.
Well, I was talking about the misfits, you see. I wasn't talking about the main gang.
You're covering yourself there one. I'll give you that one. 30 seconds left on the draft here as we look to see what the first 2 picks are for the boys in Crimson, who are actually in matching colors, as pointed out by Producer Crisis.
They really are. I was just looking at them. They all had the same mount, except for Azure. So I hope this time Azure got the memo and he's got the same mount. The team that, what is it? Matching portraits, matching mounts. The team that's all matching. Hopefully it'll come through for them with their team cohesion.
Well, once upon a time, we had a team called Negative Synergy, and this team is looking to rep with that positive synergy. You see what I did there?
Oh, my gosh.
Dad jokes before my dad. Greymane and Uther are locked in. Greymane, you have to imagine, would be far too good to give up. And Uther, well, hand in hand, paired together, they just work so, so well. And as a result of taking that away, Genji has a lot more pressure on his board to deal with. Now, Arthas is locked in, a direct response to dealing with that Greymane, and also allows Genji to find those targets and jump into the back line.
Yep, allow Arthas to really lock them up for him and then go in, go out, clean up duty. That's how Genji likes to strike. And, I mean, it's often an interesting thing. It's like, yes, you've got the Genji, but equally strong to start with. That Greymane and Uther, best buds. They really just enable each other, especially the Uther when you get that Divine Shield and the Greymane, keeping his buddy safe.
Wow. Genji and Li Ming. All I want to say, one word, disgusting.
Reset City? Yeah.
Absolute reset city. It's not even Mad City. Not even Kendrick Lamar would be impressed with this.
I just got that. That's so good. You're just popping off today. All right. So we've got the reset duo. I was going to say the bro and sis, but I mean, I don't know how they'd feel about that. They'd be like, hey. But we've got those 2. And then, all right. So what do we need? You need to be able to lock Genji down. So you need Krakatoa. Same for Li Ming. You need to be able to blow them out. Just take them out of the fight. Don't allow them to get any resets. So you can either go blow them up with damage of your own and follow up into what Greymane and Uther are opening into. Or you could just go, I guess, anti. Just make sure no one dies. Get a lot of sustain on your team. Get a beefy frontline or go double support.
Yeah, 100%. They need to make sure that they either have enough support for the sustain or the heroes are tanky enough that they can't get blown up in an instance, because as soon as the ball gets rolling, it's very hard to lose that skirmish or that team fight as a result. And, I say it's really all on sort of NMD as to how they can really flesh this composition out. You'd imagine this is all going to be about the diving potential. Right now they have a lot of damage on the Immortal as well. But support options, I mean, you still got the likes of Rhaegar, Oriel, and even Karazim, to say the least, available for the pickings. But in terms of the bans, Tyrell has been taken away by Crimson, so they do not want to allow the Sanctification to come into its own, or even, for the best part, Judgment to lock down a key target. More eyes are on NMD, though, Vandy, as to how they can try and dismantle this.
Yeah, NMD, they need to answer with something strong. I mean, Anubrak is quite good, I'd say. But if Anubrak is picked, they have the Ming to bust out someone out of that cocoon. It's whether they just want to take away, I guess, the CC that Anubrak can bring. But that then leaves Diablo Muradin on the board as well, who can achieve something similar if you're not just picking him for the heroic.
Diablo Muradin absolutely still available on the board. What I'm really wondering, though, is if Stitches might come into the fold of things. Very beefy, has the ability to then combo with the Uther. And this is one way you can actually use as a counter-measurement towards this reset composition. Pick them apart, much the same as the Cocoon. You find that one target, you instantly make it a 4v5, and what looks so scary, suddenly they have to think, is this a desirable situation for us to go into?
100%. That's exactly it. So that's the other part that we're saying. So blow them up before they can blow you up. And Stitches is quite a good pick on this map because a lot of that fight is actually away from minicamps, away from things that can actually block the hook. So you've got a lot more free reign. You can actually also zone out a lot better because teams are trying to respect that hook. So it has to alter your playstyle as well.
Where do they decide to go with these next two picks?
They're digging deep.
Far too squishy, I reckon. Yeah, they go for two big, beefy frontliners. They go for the Diablo and the Sonya, adding extra damage to the Immortal race and give them the ability to survive, preventing that inevitable blow-up composition. I mean, even Greymane, when he is in that Worgen form, an extra 10 armor cannot be forgotten. So a lot of damage, a lot of support. And then let's not even forget the fact that Uther, when he applies the heal, 25 armor at the very least on everybody.
That's a big lot of damage mitigation coming out, especially against auto attackers. And that's why Uther is so favored. His ability to really mitigate a lot of the physical damage coming out. I really like the Sonya Diablo pick. I mean, Sonya, she can very effectively take the camps on this map as well. So if you get that minion camp, the shaman camp just before the immortal spawn, you can actually get a lot of value off, or at least force a rotation out on the other team. So great. We can see Crimson, they're really thinking with the map in mind, as well as composition.
What I'm really curious about, though, Vandy, is where do NMD go? I was just going to say, Malfurion is arguably one of the best supports against dive, given that the Twilight Dream can fully negate. Once they're committed, they're stuck. They have to force that fight. They decide to go for that option. They pair it with Leoric, which is quite interesting. Not one of the best maps for him, but that Entomb, given that all those heroes are very susceptible to being locked in place, allows easy full combinations from the likes of both Li Ming and Genji.
Very melee heavy on the side of Crimson. They're identifying that weakness. If you can get a nice Entomb, they're all just sitting duck. So the last pick surely needs to be some form of range DPS now, whether they want a mage. But, I mean, I wouldn't feel safe with a Kael'thas, not against that I guess, combination.
I'm still really thinking about getting this double support. I don't know if it's the best option. Wow, they just go for Kael'thas.
They've gone for the Kael'thas. They feel like they can keep him safe enough, so they're not afraid. They would love that. I mean, I was thinking Gul'dan would also be pretty decent. As if, worst case scenario, you all get Entombed, just fear. Drop the Horrifying.
Yeah. I suppose they're trying to say, well, you're thinking that you can collapse upon us. Well, when we know you fall into that little choke spot, I can do the exact same to you with the Living Bomb, with that empowered Gravity Lapse, and not to forget sort of the Flame Strike on top of all things. But I say both of these teams very stacked up in terms of how they're going to try and approach this. It's just a case of who can get that battering ram down first.
Exactly right. But I guess on the side of NMD, it's more about the reset. They have so much more priority on getting one target down. If one target falls, that's really all it's going to take to enable their team composition. So it's a higher stakes on the side of Crimson Esports, I guess.
Such a good draft. by NMD. The ability to get the double reset, it's so strong. And if they can get that ball rolling, it's really hard to recover from there. Greymane's going to have a hard time trying to jump into that backline because Malfurion is a big counter towards him, not to mention Arthas as well. So expect to see Greymane in that human form for the majority of this game, unless he can actually execute. But the Entombs physics, much like games 1 and 2 against DS, is going to have to be on point here and really set up his team for success.
Yep, let's see if he can do it. He did get MVP before. Let's see if he can do it back-to-back. He'll be trying to vie for it. But I'll get things started off. On the blue side here, we have Team NMD with Lahal on Malfurion, Hiccup on Genji, Penta playing Arthas, Ninja on Li Ming, and Physics playing Leoric.
Here we are in the semi-finals. And this is on the left-hand side. Lahal.
Right-hand side.
Sorry, right-hand side. I am distracted. Liv. Altivian on Greymane, Moondred on Uther, Leica on Diablo, Zhou on Kel'Thas, and Jesmes on Sonya. That's what happens when a male tries to multitask, Vandy. I'll leave it to the experts.
You're just selling yourself short. Don't worry, I'm here to bail you out. It's all good in the hood. So, all right, let's take a peek at these talents. We're seeing Agile Dismount being the go-to choice by Hiccup, as opposed to going all in on that Swift Strike build. I think a lot of it really depends on what Genji players like to open up with. It depends on their playstyle as well. Just getting that extra range.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Swift Strike build today. But this build, generally speaking, looking more for the ganking potential, so looking to be quite mobile. One thing I really want to bring up is the fact that Felon Fusion at level 1 is being picked up by Kel'Thas, so no Arcane Barrier, no potential to stay sustained, or no potential to actually prevent the one-shot combination. One of the least picked talents when it comes to level 1 tier, but I have to see how much value he can get.
It is actually, perhaps a little bit of counterplay there. We did see the flip going in, but away from the Flame Strike. So Leica and Azure, they're just, I guess, shaking off those nerves.
Yeah, the level 1 shenanigans, always a stressful time. Leica going to get into the front line, much like Azuk the Cat, taking a lot of damage very early on into this one. Needs to start generating those souls, get some kills, get some minion waves. There goes the CC train, but the Reflect comes in time. But is it enough? Hiccup dives into the backline. He does get taken out, and Crimson claim first blood.
I think Hiccup Swift Strike the wrong way. Did he think that was his base? By accident? Panic. Pure panic.
Perhaps he thought, I'm already dead, boys. Might as well see if I can try and pick up a kill and take somebody to the grave with me.
Let's go.
It's
only early.
We lose, boys.
Too
Gotta get
early
those
to
memes
say
out
it.
there. Much like the nerves for the players, we got to get the nerves out of ourselves as well. There goes the Immortal. First phase starting off. And without the halftime show coming about just yet, let's see who can shred this one down first. The resets are going to be the name of the game here. Penta going to get smashed into a wall by Leica. But both teams so far playing the defensive. Sonya is going to come about now. All about who can get the engage.
I mean, good poke coming out by Ninja here, but Leica going in for that engage. Penta dropping awfully low.
Penta gets stunned. Beautiful body blocking by the side of Crimson Esports to force him into the PvE stun. That gets the second kill, and that sets them quite nicely for this objective.
I really like what Crimson are doing. They're not afraid to get Leica to start engaging for them. That Diablo, like you said, once he starts getting the souls, he can be a bit more aggressive, and that's when you need to watch out. But as soon as he's flipping someone, he's looking for that follow-up. Into using the Immortal this time. He's just 1v2ing Ninja.
Wow, the teleport used at the very last second. He is so low. Shadow Charge if it's up will do so much work, but now Leica is overchased. It's like your quick match games. You're thinking, what are you doing? Gets called out, gets taken down, and it looks to be NMD resorting back to basics.
I think Leica was trying to impress us. They already impressed us with the 2v1 and almost picking up Ninja. Now the fact they traded a kill, that's going to work really against Crimson now.
Yeah, Crimson's positioning has been compromised, and with that Frost presence just trickling away, there is no way of running out of that one. Lahal looking to try and catch out Altivian, but the route is not there. Going to be slightly out of range to start things off with, but it is a small lead, if anything, for NMD in terms of actually bringing this one down. It's all to play for. The halftime show is about to approach us, but phase 2 is where it's all going to matter.
Another beautiful charge up against the wall this time, really bringing it to Physics. This time Physics are the ones that falls. The halftime show has begun, Skimmy. Both teams are racing down that Immortal, seeing how much they can do. It's looking in favor, though, on the side of Crimson.
Grab your popcorn and watch the show. Race on down. They're looking for that interval
No.
play. 77 health. Wow. Bite your nails, as I tell you, that is very close. Too close for comfort. And they get so sweaty, NMD even aggro the Shaman camp.
That's full sweat, Skimmy, and great play coming out by NMD. Not only did they win that Immortal by 77, they managed to pick up that Shaman Camp, so they can get a lovely little push going on now, with the experience quite equal between both teams.
Leica caught a little bit too far away from his base. He might even get double stunned as well, much the same as Penta did, but he's just so beefy. The Lord of Terror can take a beating, and he can survive.
I mean, I'm just like in like pure admiration there in silence, and that's why I really enjoy playing Diablo. As you said, he can take a beating, just does not go down, especially once you get those souls. Once you get Devil's Due underway as well, insane sustainability.
Absolutely, the regen globes, the ability to utilize the healing fountain, you can just tank so much damage and negate it just like that. Howling Blast used as it looks to be NMD going for the disengage, but Leica has other ideas. Same with Ultivian, looking to collapse upon Hiccup, and with the extra range, whoa, talk about range, Hiccup gets himself out of harm's way. It was a very sketchy situation as we're all even up here now, Vandy, at level 7.
Great Swiss strike by Hiccup to get himself out of harm's way. That was looking a little bit hairy at the moment there. Merc Camp will be taken out, that Khazra Camp, on the side of Crimson. Just really, I think, more denying it on the side of NMD rather than trying to get big value out of it.
A lot of value will be coming out of Guardian of the Ancient Kings as it looks to keep members alive, and that armor component really doing wonders right now. We haven't really seen the snowbally effect of the reset comp just yet, but all eyes will be on level 10. That's when this comp really starts to unlock, especially with the likes of Leoric, who can't really bring too much to the table when it comes to the Immortal Racing, but can definitely do a lot of work up against the Sonya in the top lane.
That's it. I mean, I'm just watching the battle between them. Both quite equal. Jesmez holding his own against Physics, when really I think we should be seeing Jesmez losing that lane a lot harder.
Yeah, the Drain Hope build has been locked in, so looking to go all out sustain. This is only going to get stronger as the game goes on. Looking to try and sort of tackle down what we were saying. Build beefiness, survive, so you don't get one shot by this recent comp, and that is looking to try and patch that sort of quality out of the game, do some damage, get the ball rolling as Immortal Phase number 2 spawns. And as a result of them not picking up Shaman Camp the first time around, Crimson timed it quite well for number 2.
Yeah, they timed it perfectly, actually. So they can start on this Immortal now, and in that second phase, they will really lock up Leoric in trying to clear that out.
And we're not even going for the defensive meta. We're going all-out aggression. We're going back to the days, and the race is super close once again. That was a 4v5, mind you, so keep that in mind.
Yep. This is going to be the fight that Leica's trying to bring here, but they're not overcommitting on the side of NMD. They need Leoric to come and join them in that fight.
Oh, Hiccup! Wow, he just completely jukes out his Azure, and he takes Ultivian for a fly. The disengage comes out, he's flying to Narnia and back, and he's just thinking, where am I? Where is my team? And they are very low. Moon Druid, with not much mana, is not going to have the best of times trying to keep this team topped up. Holy Ready, he's saying, line up in the bush! And like a bunch of loyal peons, they stand guard.
Peons, subordinates. I mean, I'm still laughing at... We've seen a couple of those now with people going flying. Leica getting opened up by that Howling Blast, and beautiful orb to get the kill.
Wow, there goes the resistance, and that's what we're talking about. 1, 2, 3. Look at me. NMD are saying we can hit 10, we can get kills, and we can look good for the camera. Hi, Mum.
Hi, how you going? They are not yet satisfied, though. Jesmez is not going down without a fight, trying to do his best to take out Ninja, but he's just getting so collapsed upon. And the second Immortal of the game, this time with a much bigger shield bar, should go over to NMD. We'll see if they can cap it up, though.
Depends.
It's just a very low model. Let's see.
So close, Vandy. Level 10 is not there
Crimson
just yet.
10, though. Yeah, Crimson 110. I mean, they could try and contest for it, but they need 10.
That is really rough. So close. But this time slightly bigger. Bigger than 77 health. I mean, anything is bigger than that. But level 10 really proving to be the favourable exchange. As a result of having those ultimates, the resets come across, and X-Strike is the choice as the ultimate for Genji.
You know, I think that's quite nice, I guess, depending on... Uther probably would have gone into Divine Storm, but I think Uther himself, he's going for Divine Shield, so he can bail out, as we said, really enable Ultivian on that Grey Mane when he's diving in.
Now, I quite agree with the X-Strike, looking to try and disengage and juke a lot of the CC that can come out the CC chain, and every single time that Howling Blast comes across, aiming towards Leica, there's an entangling route perfectly timed and followed up with from Laha as the siege now begins in the top lane, a full level lead. Healthy at that for NMD, but that Immortal, because they have no shield, gets shredded in no time, only doing half of that Fult's health bar.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the fight could have gone so much more differently for Crimson if Leica didn't get taken out so early, and it was really those kills that enabled NMD to get 10 so much quicker. And yeah, it's just a totally different story, isn't it?
Looking to see how this next skirmish breaks out with every ultimate unlocked. Really a case of execution. We talked about it during the draft. Both these teams looking to collapse upon and try and sort of abuse the fact that one's going to be locked in an Entomb, the other's going to be locked in trying to collapse and get those kills in the Entomb. Who can find their value as a result? Cocktail build. You got the Flame Stroke with the Phoenix on the side of Crimson, but the flip side of that is Reset City, and there goes the fight straight away, looking for Azure. Pop disengaged and gone. Divine Shield on Uther, never a pretty sight, and he pays the price. Triple kill, make that a quadra kill. Easy pickings, resets for days, and now that Fort will die.
All NMD were really waiting for was level 10, and look at how they're using it to the best of their advantage. Feels bad, man, for poor Moondruid. I think Azure just popped so quickly, there was just a misclick there. You could tell that he wasn't trying to Divine Shield himself at all.
Oh. NMD are playing out of their minds right now. This is a reformed team. This is awesome to see. A new team in a certain capacity with some new players, but they are really bringing to the mark what they can achieve. And we were saying, you know, who can really sort of threaten Nomi right now? Darksider were doing it in Season 3. We've now got the hungering threat of NMD.
Yep, NMD, hungry for success. They have actually shown that they are capable of taking a series off Darksider, so it's a very promising start.
Next Immortal phase will be spawning in 15 seconds, and with the Shamans available on their side as well, they can look to keep up this pressure. Talking of pressure, a 3-level lead, complemented by the fact they've got extra structures, but then 10 kills to 3 really sets the tone.
Crimson looking to claw back a little bit of this map, looking to see if they can find any value. They are that talent tier advantage. That is the most looming thing that we can both spot on the map. If they take a fight now, it has to be a good pick that they get to really force that numbers advantage.
We're going to see a much more standard setup when it comes to this Immortal this time around, with both teams deciding to defend, and with NMD having a better poke, with that Leeming especially, they're going to look to try and get aggressive with it. APOC comes across, it's only going to find one, make that 2, with Lahal being locked in as well.
Oh, no.
And 2 on 3 members, and Arcane Orb just comes across, but the Divine Shield is brilliant. Is it enough for Crimson to turn things around? Ufa is already gone. Same with Diablo, but no, the ball is rolling, and it is rolling so fast down, it is snowballing. And it is a triple kill for one. They've only picked up the hull so far, but they're going to keep looking for more. Final kill. This will be the complete ace onto Jesmez. He's spinning to win, but the human fidget spinner can't fidget enough.
I mean, it was a great start to the fight, or what appeared to be a great start to the fight on the side of Crimson. But where they really got into trouble is that they just couldn't get that kill, and that's what punished them. The 3-man lockup in Entomb, that's what we were so worried about. When your comp is that melee heavy and that immobile, ooh, there's only so much you can do. Poor Moondruid, he was just working overtime on the healing.
You can see Ninja there in such a beautiful position for it, just licking his lips as he cast that Arcane Orb, thinking this is going to be so much fun. The Divine Shield did a bit of work, but it wasn't to be enough in the end, and I say this is what gets really scary with a reset comp. So hard to deal with, so fun to play.
Aww. I mean, we can't really, okay, so I'm just looking. We can't really count, Crimson out, down and out just yet. It still just takes one fight. They have caught up, at least on one talent here. It's just the next one. But look at the Ninjas, not going to fall for their tricks. Really, they just need to turtle up, and they just need to get that fight to work well for them. A lot of what went wrong in that previous fight was that Apocalypse just didn't hit the members that it needed to. Hiccup was able to dash away. He didn't fall in that fight.
Yeah, it seems to be that Crimson are trying to force the fight on their own terms, and as soon as that APOC doesn't really get the value or doesn't get the ability to take out a member straight away, well, NMD are going, great, this is it. We can now push our advantage. We don't have to fret. We can go in and collapse upon this Entomb. And you can also imagine that Leica needs to use it like this. And that's perfect. This time it comes across. Entomb only going to find Greyman, but he gets the Divine Shield. Instantly it's a response. They do get the kill. Leoric is gone. And Lahal is very low in the back line. He's going to get pounced upon by Jesmez, who's also taking a bit of a beating. It is still only 1 kill at this stage. But NMD are hanging around. Penta is going to pop with that living bomb, and as you said, Vandy, despite not having 16, the fight works out better, but hold your horses, the resets are coming. Lahal is still alive, and they do pick up Sonya, all things considered. 2-1, doesn't even matter, the level advantage really working in their favour.
Yeah, it was a great trade-off. Although some 2 members fell, they then managed to find some value, picking off Jesmez. And like you said, a lot of that was it's almost, this wasn't Caster's Curse, this was like Caster's Prophecy. I was going to say, we'd like to see Leica use it defensively. So once he saw the Entomb go out, then respond with the APOC. That's exactly what he did, Skimmy. It's like so telegraphed. We were sending signs.
That's what they need to do, and they just do it as we're talking about it. So realizing on the fly what the strategy should be, and that's the signs of a good team.
So are you tapping directly into their comms? Is that what's happening? You're like, okay, go, I'm going to make this
more off-putting than anything. A screaming old man.
Oh, you're not old just yet. We're all young at heart. And all right. So that 16 can be picked up now on the side of Crimson. And if they can get that 16, they are going to be on even footing for now.
Yeah, it's going to start to get a lot scarier as this one progresses on. Especially if they can do more fights like such. If they can dismantle one of the components from this reset comp, that is their best chance of winning the game. Because if they go and they collapse, use ultimates for cooldowns without getting anything in exchange, the trade is never favorable. As easy and as simplistic as that sounds, the reset comp can just start to really run with it. And Penta's doing exactly that, running on in, looking for the Howling Blast, does not connect, and Moon Druid just rides on into the sunset.
He's saying, see you, mate. But with that open keep, that's something that Crimson need to be wary of, because NMD, if they've got that fight there and aced them, or at least got a couple of members, they would have pushed on to that keep. So they just need to be wary. They've got that open path to the core.
Open path to the core indeed, and this is beautiful timing now. 16 has just been acquired as NMD look to go for the rotation on the Shaman camp, keeping the pressure up, keeping that level winning race to 20 in their favor. And we'd expect, once again, that sort of immortal defensive stance to take place again, with NMD looking to poke on down, especially given they have the Ninja on Li Ming.
Ninja's just doing so much poking and just getting so much damage done. I mean, when I hit tab, I saw 40k. I was just surprised, but also not, because he's just been so on point. His positioning in these fights as well, so good. Oh my god!
Genji just gone, deleted in an absolute second. Entomb was used, but it wasn't enough, and APOC came across as well, and now they look to try and collapse upon Leoric, who does get the close bullet to the face. Wraith walks out to safety, but with it being now a 4v5 and with a major component of that reset comp being taken out, this really is Crimson's time to shine.
Leica's trying. He really wants to get on Ninja, but while all of that was happening, we now see Azir getting taken out in the backline.
Absolutely, it's a 1-for-1 right now. Leica has no mana, no chance to try and survive. Physics in the front line, keeping 3 members occupied on his face. Divine Shield on Ultivia, not going to find any value whatsoever. Jesmez popping so much damage to Devotion Healing Bot. Can it keep him alive? It's doing so much for the meantime, but it's not enough. The Quadra kill comes across. The Penta is denied. Penta looking to try and get the Penta, and he's coming across now with Ninja as Ultivian disengages away, but he's still hungry, but the magic missiles aren't magical enough.
Looks like they want to press on, try and get this keep, and then back off, capture that Immortal. On the side of Crimson, things are looking really dire now. The fact that Penta, I think either, if not solo, at least with one support, was able to take out a Zero on his own. That's what really then freed up the fight on the side of NMD, who really should have lost that.
They actually get punished pretty hard here now, NMD. They decided to try and chase on in, get the keep, but now it's actually allowed the respawn timers from Crimson to come on back in, and without level 20 being available just yet, Crimson get another crack at trying to win this one, given it's the half-time show now.
Yeah, they can contest for this, and if they do get those picks, they can potentially secure the objective and push on through with that. But they also have to be mindful, there's that constant pressure from top with the catapults.
They are moving on in. Greyman was looking to clear that one out in the top lane, but the call's being made. I'm sure Leica saying, get amongst it, let's go straight in. APOC is there, the CC chain follows. Physics is gone. X-Strike, though, talk about that one. Smashing people left, right, and center, and there goes the resets. Ninja jumps in, blink, 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 gets the kills, but he does pay the price in the end, Vandy. They think they had it. They do get the Immortal, but they lose the members. 4 drop with only Genji surviving.
4 for 2, 20 also now being picked up by NMD. I don't know how far they can push. I mean, the Immortal will definitely take the keep. But can they end with only Hiccup? I don't think so. So it's really just prolonging it. I think Crimson will live to fight one more time in this. Oh, here we go, Hiccup. So lucky.
He's trying to buy as much time as possible. Yeah. This is a very strong Immortal. The shield is only down to half. This keep is a definite surefire defeat.
They need to get it down.
There seems to be 2 in the top lane, which will be aiming onto the core. If anything, that Immortal is probably going to do about 10 to 20%. Maybe more, depends. They're chasing on for the kills.
Leica just getting baited by the deflect.
Wow.
No mana, no health, now no life. He's done. Respawn now. He couldn't even use his souls to get him back. Core is dropping.
They take a lot of damage to the core as a result, 40%. Thankfully, a little bit of breathing room as that minion wave spawned in the top lane, keeping those catapults occupied, but that is a lot of permanent damage. No meal, no potential to come back from that. And all it takes now is one team fight from NMD to win this one, but that's brought enough breathing room for 20 to be picked up by Crimson too, Vandy.
That's it. So Crimson's got one more shot. I mean, they keep managing to stay in this one, but it's going to be do or die now. The next fight will decide it for them. 20, picking up that all-important Storm talent will be their utmost priority.
We'll have to see what they do pick up indeed, as once again we go for the cycling of Merc camps, keeping up the pressure, especially for NMD, who want to keep those members distracted and playing reactively to the pressure. Let's talk about the numbers on damage anyway. 54,000 from Greymane. Despite the 3 deaths, he's been popping off in a big focal point as to why they're doing so well in this game, but 62,000 is on the flip side there. Only 43 to Genji. Leeming really having a great time here, but Physics, he gets flipped and he just Wraith walks away, not a fear in the world.
And even if he does die, he's like, don't worry, I'll be back. That's Leoric's passive at work there.
Steal away the Shaman camp. They keep up the pressure. They abuse the fact that they're so far dominating this game in terms of keeps being down. Next immortal phase spawns in 25 seconds. This is do or die, and they know it. Penta's going to go in, but he is going to decide to back away, keeping them locked in their base, trying to escort these minions in. Catapults in the bot lane, catapults coming in through the top lane as well. If they're split, all it takes is one combo, and NMD can secure this.
Crimson's base is completely gutted, and on the side of NMD, they still have their front fortifications. So even if Crimson are allowed to win a fight, it's going to be a slow, arduous push.
First phase of this immortal spawns really well in favour of NMD, right on their doorstep as they come across, and Leica already looking for the collapse. He's just getting shredded on down. Half health before it even starts. He even uses Bolt with the Storm to jump into the fight, looking for the collapse upon it. They lock them all in with the Entomb. So low, triple cool right off the bat. Never a fun time. Physics Stompet says, I don't care. In the ghost form, looking to train and get himself back into the fold of things. Neck up is low, focusing his attention on the Immortal, but they're still chasing for more. Malfurion bites more than he can chew. Can Altivian do it? He finds one. He's still looking for more. It's so chaotic right now, Vandy. It's a 3 for 2. It's so much tension on the line.
There's so much tension. I'm on the edge of my seat looking at this. And, I mean, Leica, he's back into the fray because he had to use his souls, but now this is a little squishy Diablo coming out. No souls now. If you die for real. Go on to the respawn timers.
They can just play the dance. It's only the reset boys available.
Yeah, I was just about to say. If they can pick one up. Oh.
They just have to buy time.
Yeah.
Leoric has joined the fight once again. He's already used that Drain Hub. He actually used the Entomb as well to try and slow them down. They're coming for the one shot. They do get the one shot, but they pay the price. But does it really matter, Vandy? Right now, 2 catapults in the top lane, 2 in the bot lane. They're saying, well, you either fight us or you just lose your keep. I mean, your core.
It's really, really tough, and that's a lot of that pressure coming out, and I guess a lot of that award or rewards from taking down the keeps, that constant pressure going on, as well as Physics. He's also constant pressure, the fact that he can continuously respawn. But every time he gets that Drain Hope on Leica as well, we see Leica's health bar decimated, half or less before the fight even starts.
Those catapults are really starting to hurt now. 4% for each shot. Did another 8% on that core, even shredding through the shield as well. And it just puts you in such a dilemma, such a hard shot call to make. You just need to fully commit to a team fight and clear, or you just need to go full on siege defense. Right now, it's all about sort of trying to keep this one alive. And Earther is already said on done. Lahal with the Twilight Dream on towards Jesmis, trying to burst him down. Enough breathing room for him to stay survival as he does get the Ignore Pain active. But it's a rough situation once again, Vandy. They're saying, well, do we stay here? Do we go back? Indecisiveness does kill, and Entomb locks in the members as they look to get for Sonya, but they just run away from the APOC.
Yep, APOC was used, didn't get a lot of value. They're forced to disengage. Azure is very low now. Altivian, so waiting for Curse Bullet again. Oh, such a back and forth. But while this is happening, the catapults are surrounding the core now.
The core is getting absolutely bodied. They don't know what to do. They need to kill them right now. I think the final shot nearly went off. Down to 6%. Do you believe it?
What is happening this game?
This is like a game of chess. It's checkmate. It's like a dance where you're tilted. You're not even drunk and you're dancing.
You can just imagine that. on a Friday night. Ugh, dear me. But, okay, I think this Immortal will, even if they manage to do it, they have to just somehow blow up the Immortal, and it's not going to happen.
But they will blow up Genji. The Entomb comes across once again, and easy pickings onto this Diablo. Somebody so tanky, just taken out for free. And they are going to stick around. Jesmes once again pops the Ignore Pain very early on, and he's going to go for the 1v3. Got Moondred in support, got the heals, got the armor, got the stuns, but they have to keep their eye on this Immortal. That Immortal has so much armor. I think they just know. I think they know. They just want to have some fun. They want to snap heads, and they want to spin to win.
Ultivian's trying, but I mean, that is a pretty much full shielded Immortal. He's banging on through.
And just like that.
It's a very slow death, too.
NMD keep up their relentless assault. 34 kills to 16. Double in that regard. And they start the series off 1-0.
Oh, that was like a long, torturous sort of end at the end. And a lot of that just came through the stall that NMD were chucking on out. So by stalling the Immortal, they just couldn't take the Immortal because every time they were trying, they were wasting time trying to get Hiccup or Ninja off on the backlines. So you're constantly poking, constantly dishing out damage. They couldn't be left unchecked, otherwise they would be so low. And then while that was happening, Physics and Respawn joined the fight. So just so much stall at their disposal on the side of NMD. Very smart drafting.
Absolutely. The Reset Boys once again do it, and they claim the 1-0 lead in this best of 3. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us, new and old. We will be jumping to a quick commercial break, so don't go anywhere. We'll have game 2 ready to go after that.